Welcome to Courtside Talk. This is Week 10 MVP Ladder. I'm your host, Matt, a.k.a. Easy Money, a.k.a. Mr. Borrow Your Girl, a.k.a. Babyface Killer. I got Peter Atwell with me, my co-host. What's up, bro?
Hey, we back at it again. I'm here repping the GOAT in Week 10 to talk about MVPs, man. This list is lit. You got MVPs moving up and down the ladder. MVPs talking shit. We love to see it. Things are getting spicy. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. All right. So with the honorable mentions, there's not much to say about them. So let's move straight to the top 10. I think Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, and Devin Booker have the highest odds of coming back in the top 5. I think Zion Williamson and Donovan Mitchell, in order for them to come back in the top 5, they would have to have their teams continue this run and be contenders in the West and East.
You're going to need to see something historic from those two just because of like that name brand thing. And honestly, I love Cleveland and I love what Donovan Mitchell is doing in Cleveland. It's just he's not there defensively like some of these other players are on two sides of the ball. And again, that's just going to knock him down, especially because Cleveland gets it done at so many different positions as well. So yeah, that will hold against him and keep him probably into that like bottom 5 of the top 10. Let's move on to the big names, Joel Embiid and Luka Doncic. Let's start off with Joel Embiid, the big man in the middle in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I like Joel Embiid's odds of getting in the top 5 just because he's a finalist, and at the end of the day, he was injured, which is why he wasn't really mentioned too much in the top 5. Now that he's come back from injury and gained a little bit of a rhythm, I definitely see his name creeping into the top 5. Luka is kind of disappointing. I wish his name was still in the top 5, but I guess they got to win games.
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of just chilled a little bit. The overusage of Luka's kind of hit him a little bit, and you can tell by his game he's just kind of like trying to catch his breath, and obviously that's made him drop a couple numbers in the rankings. Dallas suffered a lot of losses too. They lost a lot of important pieces to their roster. They lost Maxi Kleba for the season. They got Christian Wood back in the starting lineup, so hopefully those guys can help Dallas perform a little bit better, with a little bit more opportunity. Sometimes you can find the diamonds in the rough, and that will help Luka come back into the top 5. But, till Dallas fixes things up, you might see Luka linger in that mid-tier level of the top 10.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's move on to number 5. Ja Morant. He's talking the biggest shit. He's not scared to say that he doesn't give a fuck about the competition in the West. He's more so concerned about Boston. That's who he's got his eyes on in terms of, a real challenge, a real opponent. What do you think?
Man, it's crazy to see because they're gonna face the Suns tonight. And I'm pretty sure Booker's at the bottom of this list at the top 10. He's still top 10 though. Top 10 MVP list is still top 10. And those guys love to take everything personally, and this guy's walking around saying, yeah, we're not worried about the West. And, the Suns are there, right there, one game behind them. Like, yo, you're going to see something spicy tonight. So tune into the Suns Grizzlies and watch how that game goes down. But till then, we love to see that trash talk. I want to see him back up those words, though, because they're gonna be going at it tonight, and gonna see a big chance of them going at try to back up their trash talk.
Yeah, I like Ja Morant at 5. I mean, the Grizzlies are the top team in the West, so his leadership has a lot to do with them being the best team in the league, or top 2 teams at least. So
they don't even have Desmond Bane back yet. They don't even have Big D's man at the shooting guard, bro. Yeah, man, they're missing that guy and his presence and what he brings. And that guy 100%. Was putting up numbers before he dropped out.
Absolutely. Shout out Desmond Bane.
Yeah, he was averaging like 24 before he got injured. 24.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. That's a lot. That's a big loss. So to see Ja Morant getting it done, well-deservedly so, right at number 5. Speaking of guys getting it done,
number
in
4.
New York, Concrete jungle where
All right, all
MVPs are
right, all
going
right, all
off.
right, all right. So, so Kevin Durant at number 4. I definitely agree with this. You saw him take that nasty 3-point shot against Golden State. They 40 them.
91 to 51. That picture was going around crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Saw him
everybody
talk some
talking
shit after the
noise.
game too with fans with Kyrie. That was interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you own him in fantasy, I believe he's top 3. If not, he's the best player in fantasy this year. Yeah, he's just putting up insane numbers. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to Curry, KD, these are names that like you're always gonna hear in the MVP talks. Whether they become finalists or not, it's always dependent on health and things of that nature. But I like KD at number 4. I think he's gonna hang as long as Brooklyn is gonna continue this run.
Yeah, I think KD is going to hang around number 4. I don't see him finishing top 3, and I love what he's doing. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
broken. It's historic.
100%.
The efficiency from the field, from the free throw, from behind the arc is nothing like we've ever seen before. But the only issue is that again, voter fatigue is one thing. When you're talking crap to the media, it's another thing, and those guys are trying to vote for you, and they're bad taste in their mouth. And we talked about this last time. Again, love to see KD moving up that ladder, but I don't see him finishing higher than 3rd spot this season. No matter what he does, it just seems like
That's
they're gonna.
interesting. That's a
They're
hot take. I don't know. No, I think if Brooklyn ends up being like a top 3 team in the East, I think his name will he might end up being a finalist, if not
uh,
winning it.
I'm a non-believer.
All
I'm a
right,
Nets
that's
hater.
cool.
It's better to be a hater on this side, bro. It's
Yeah.
better to be a hater. I don't see him finishing top 3. Sorry, KD.
All right, number 3 looks like a mini version of KD, Jason Tatum. He's averaging 30 points a game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He was at number 1, and now he's barely a finalist for this week. So, I believe it's just because he missed the game because of personal reasons. So, like,
Recency
I
bias.
don't think it's about I don't think he dropped because he played bad. I just think because he missed games, but
He sat one game and Men's forgot what he was doing. No,
uh,
this guy's light skinned young KD, man. This
yeah.
guy he's doing all the same efficiency crazy stuff that KD is doing, and he's doing it for a Celtics roster that's also very broken, and you can see when he sits down, like they're still moving, but it's a very big difference when Jason Tatum is not there. They really miss him when he's not there.
One could argue he's only at number 3 because of the political biases to the next two. Nikola Jokic at number 2. He's averaging pretty much a triple double, 25 points a game, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. I guess the only difference is he's doing it in winning fashion. Start off the season really slow, and now, you know, like we've warned you guys in previous weeks, Nikola Jokic is back as
He
a
is that
finalist. He's
guy.
at number 2. A lot of people argued he couldn't get the award this year because, it's really hard to three-peat this specific award. And
Yeah.
because he's not like a big profile star, it
He's not a
might be
champion.
that
He's not a
and a
champion
lot of
yet.
other things.
Yeah, he's not a champion yet. I see one in his future, but he's not a champion yet. Those guys that had the three-peat were champs.
Yeah. I think he's a lock for a finalist this year. I just
100%.
think at the end of the day, he's always gonna bring so much to the table that it's hard not to it's hard to discount his play at this point.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
and and that roster's just getting better with Jamal
Yeah.
Murray getting back into shape and getting back into form. Their wins are having their rankings climb up real quick, and you love to see it, man.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
they get Michael Porter Jr. back very soon, probably this week. You'll see him back in the lineup. They'll do even better. You'll see his name in the MVP rankings, Nikola Jokic, every week because of that.
So it says here Larry Bird was the last player to win 3 consecutive MVPs. So if
Champion.
Nikola Jokic pulls that off this year, It'll
which
be
is
the first time it's done since holy
yeah,
long time
man.
ago.
Champion, bro. That Larry Bird, bro. That's a
That's crazy.
legend. Larry Legend, bro. They call him the legend for a reason. Speaking of legends,
Number one,
holy number one. The only man
Giannis.
to dunk from the 3-point line, bro. What the
He's been playing out of his mind back to back games with 40 plus points while shooting 66% from the field. He's
Mm.
still pulling 10 more rebounds. He's averaging 32 points a game, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He's putting this team on his shoulders. And here he is at number one in this week's power rankings. Sorry, MVP ladder. But yeah, 32 points a game. He's doing it in winning fashion. It's really hard to, count him out as number one just because Chris Middleton is still, getting back into the rhythm
Yeah.
of things. He seems to be, still getting better. And I think
They got handled by the Cavs the other night. They got handled by another big competitor in their conference.
yeah. I think when it comes down to this race, I think it's gonna come down to Giannis, Jokic, and probably
Uh
Jason Tatum or Luca.
yeah, I see Jason Tatum or Luca in there too, man. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Embiid is coming, bro. He's tired. Embiid is
Yeah, Embiid
tired
is
of being
definitely
running up,
coming.
bro.
Embiid
He's
is
tired of
definitely
being
coming.
running up, bro.
I
That's a
think
big
at the end of
dude.
the day, when it comes to Embiid, okay, another thing about this race is health. Health plays a huge role. As you
Yeah.
saw, Jason Tatum did nothing wrong, and he dropped to third place just like that. So
The
I
only
think
thing I disagreed about this MVP ladder is I would have said this week specifically, I would have had Jokic over Giannis. Over Giannis just because of how well the Nuggets have been doing. Uh, the Bucks have been doing just as well, but I just felt like you know, the notoriety it needed to be there for Jokic. He put out some historic triple doubles recently, and he's now averaging 30 something, 12 and 9. So he's one assist away. He's one assist away from averaging a triple double, and I think they should have recognized that this week by putting him up there. But number two is just as good in this race because number one and number two is always it's always by a hairline. It's always by a hairline comparison.
yes, sir. That is this week's MVP ladder. We are gonna go on to week 11 for the power rankings and MVP ladder. If you're still watching, you are fucking awesome. We appreciate you. Make sure you like and follow and subscribe to the channel.
And
We
let us know
appreciate
who
you
your
guys.
real MVP is.
Let us know in the comments.
Merry Christmas.
We out.